Welcome to Biography with Plutarch, where we delve into the lives of history's most fascinating figures, seeking to understand the intricacies of their character and the forces that shaped them. Today, we embark on an extraordinary journey through the life of Alexander the Great, a man whose conquests and legacy have captivated human imagination for centuries. Born in the ancient kingdom of Macedon, Alexander would go on to create one of the largest empires the world has ever known, leaving behind a trail of wonder, awe, and profound transformation. It was here, on a sweltering summer day, that Alexander was born to King Philip II and Queen Olympias. The birth of Alexander was not just a familial event, but a political one, as it occurred during a time of great upheaval and ambition for the Macedonian kingdom. His father, Philip II, was a king with grand visions for expansion and unification, and his mother, Olympias, was a member of the royal family of neighboring Epirus, known for her strong will, mystical beliefs, and unwavering determination. The early years of Alexander's life were marked by a blend of martial discipline and intellectual curiosity. His father, recognizing the potential in his son, ensured that Alexander received the best education available. The young prince was tutored by none other than Aristotle, one of the most brilliant minds of the ancient world. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander developed a deep love for literature, science, and philosophy, which would later influence his approach to governance and his view of the world. The lessons took place in the tranquil surroundings of the royal gardens, where the sound of birdsong and the gentle rustle of leaves provided a serene backdrop for the young prince's intellectual awakening. Growing up in the royal court of Macedon, Alexander was surrounded by the intrigues of politics and the arts of war from a very young age. His mother, Olympias, played a significant role in shaping his early years, instilling in him a sense of destiny and nurturing his ambitions. She would often regale him with stories of the great heroes of Greek mythology, her eyes gleaming with an otherworldly intensity as she spoke of Zeus and Hercules. The stories of Homer's heroes, particularly Achilles, were among his favorites, and he often identified with these legendary figures, aspiring to emulate their bravery and glory. As he listened to the epic tales, Alexander's imagination would run wild, conjuring up images of himself as a mighty warrior, leading his troops into battle and emerging victorious. The historical context of Alexander's early life was one of constant conflict and strategic alliances. Macedon was expanding its territories under Philip II's aggressive military campaigns, and the kingdom was a hub of activity, filled with soldiers, diplomats, and scholars from all over the ancient world. The city of Pella was abuzz with the sound of clanging swords, the smell of sweat and leather, and the sight of weary soldiers returning from battle. This environment not only prepared Alexander for the life of a warrior and a leader, but also exposed him to diverse cultures and ideas, laying the groundwork for his future conquests and his dream of a unified world under Greek leadership. As Alexander grew older, his involvement in military affairs became more pronounced. He was barely a teenager when he accompanied his father on campaigns, observing and participating in the battles that expanded Macedon's borders. One notable event during these formative years was when Alexander, at the age of 18, was left in charge of Macedon while his father was away on campaign. During this time, he successfully led a campaign against the Thracian tribe of Maedi, showcasing his early military prowess and strategic thinking. The thrill of battle coursed through his veins as he rode into the fray, his heart pounding with excitement and his mind racing with tactics. The influences of his family, particularly his parents, were profound. His father's ambition and military genius, combined with his mother's religious fervor and political cunning, contributed to Alexander's complex character. The tutoring by Aristotle added a layer of intellectual curiosity and a philosophical bent to his outlook on life. These early years, filled with education, family dynamics, and the realities of royal politics, were the crucible in which Alexander's character was forged, preparing him for the extraordinary deeds that would soon make him a legend in his own time. The relationship between Alexander and his father, Philip II, was particularly significant. The king's demanding nature and high expectations pushed Alexander to excel, but also created tension and competition between them. Olympias, on the other hand, provided a nurturing presence, encouraging Alexander's ambitions and fostering his sense of self-importance. This complex web of family relationships would shape Alexander's psyche, influencing his decisions and actions as he navigated the treacherous landscape of ancient politics. The young prince's journey was marked by moments of triumph and tragedy, of courage and doubt. And yet, through it all, he remained driven by an insatiable curiosity, a thirst for knowledge, and an unyielding ambition that would change the course of history. As Alexander's military prowess and strategic thinking continued to evolve, he found himself at the forefront of his father's campaigns, playing a crucial role in the Battle of Chaeronea in 3038 BCE. The scorching summer sun beat down upon the battle-scarred terrain as Alexander, then just 18 years old, led the companion cavalry into the fray. The sound of clashing steel and the scent of sweat and blood filled the air as he charged forward with unyielding ferocity, his horse's hooves pounding the dry earth. This decisive victory over the Athenians and Thebans cemented Macedon's dominance over Greece, and Alexander's bravery in the battle earned him widespread recognition. His father, Philip II, was so impressed with Alexander's performance that he began to groom him as his successor, entrusting him with increasingly important responsibilities. The king would often summon Alexander to his side during strategic meetings, seeking his counsel on matters of state and war. As they pored over maps and discussed the intricacies of battle tactics, Philip II imparted his vast knowledge and experience to his son, shaping Alexander into a skilled and calculating leader. One of the most significant events in Alexander's life occurred in 336 BCE, when his father was assassinated during the wedding celebrations of Alexander's sister Cleopatra. The joyous atmosphere of the festivities was shattered by the sudden and brutal murder, leaving Alexander reeling in shock and grief. This tragic turn of events propelled him to the throne at the age of just 20, forcing him to navigate the treacherous landscape of Macedonian politics and consolidate his power amidst a sea of potential rivals. Despite his youth, Alexander demonstrated remarkable composure and strategic thinking, quickly moving to eliminate potential threats and secure his position. He began by executing several high-ranking officials suspected of involvement in his father's assassination, sending a clear message to any would-be challengers that he would not tolerate dissent or disloyalty. As the news of Philip II's death spread throughout the kingdom, Alexander took swift action to reassure his subjects and maintain stability, issuing decrees and making key appointments to ensure a smooth transition of power. Alexander's ascension to the throne marked the beginning of a new era in ancient history, as he set out to fulfill his ambition of conquering the vast Persian Empire. In 3034 BCE, he crossed the Hellespont with an army of approximately 40,000 soldiers, marking the start of a campaign that would take him to the farthest reaches of the known world. The salty sea air filled his lungs as he gazed out upon the endless expanse of water, his heart ablaze with determination and anticipation. His military genius and innovative tactics allowed him to achieve a series of stunning victories, including the Battle of Granicus, where he defeated the Persian satraps, and the Battle of Issus, where he confronted and defeated the Persian Emperor Darius III himself. The thrill of victory was intoxicating, and Alexander's legend grew with each triumph. His name became synonymous with bravery and military prowess, striking fear into the hearts of his enemies and earning the admiration of his contemporaries. As he marched through the ancient world, Alexander left behind a trail of cities, roads, and institutions that would shape the course of human history for centuries to come. As Alexander's empire expanded, he found himself at the helm of a vast and diverse territory, encompassing modern-day Greece, Turkey, Egypt, Babylon, and Persepolis. He demonstrated a remarkable ability to adapt to different cultures and adopt local customs, often incorporating them into his own practices. For example, after conquering Egypt in 3030 BCE, Alexander was welcomed as a liberator by the Egyptian people, who saw him as a deliverer from Persian rule. The golden light of the setting sun cast a warm glow over the Nile River as he sailed to the temple of Amun at Siwa, seeking to understand the local gods and traditions. The priests of Amun, resplendent in their white robes, greeted Alexander with reverence and curiosity, recognizing in him a kindred spirit who sought wisdom and knowledge. As they shared stories of the ancient gods and the secrets of the universe, Alexander's mind expanded with wonder and awe, his thirst for understanding insatiable. He spent hours in contemplation, seeking to grasp the mysteries of the cosmos and the human condition. Alexander's relationships with his companions and soldiers were forged in the fire of battle and tempered by shared experiences. He inspired loyalty and devotion in those who followed him, who would stop at nothing to protect and serve their beloved leader. The camaraderie and esprit de corps that developed among the Macedonian army were unparalleled, as they fought together as a cohesive unit, united in their quest for glory and conquest. Yet, amidst the triumph and adoration, the seeds of discontent and rebellion were already being sown. Various factions and interest groups began to chafe against Alexander's rule, resenting his autocratic tendencies and the vast powers he had accumulated. The whisperings of discontent grew louder, echoing through the corridors of power and spreading like wildfire through the empire. As Alexander stood at the helm of his vast empire, he seemed invincible, a colossus bestriding the ancient world. His name was on the lips of every king and queen, every warrior and merchant, from the Indus to the Nile. The winds of history howled around him, threatening to upend the fragile balance of power and plunge the world into chaos. And yet, Alexander remained steadfast, his vision unwavering as he pushed forward into the unknown, driven by an insatiable hunger for adventure and a thirst for immortality. As Alexander's empire continued to expand, he faced growing challenges in maintaining control and stability, like a master navigator charting a treacherous course through unexplored waters. The vast territories he had conquered were home to diverse cultures, languages, and customs, making it difficult to impose a unified system of governance. The cacophony of dialects, the intricate tapestry of traditions, and the complex web of alliances and rivalries all threatened to unravel the very fabric of his dominion. Despite these challenges, Alexander remained committed to his vision of a unified world where East and West could coexist in harmony, like two complementary threads woven into a majestic brocade. One of the most significant events of Alexander's later years was his journey to India, which began in 326 BCE, like a mighty river bursting its banks and flowing into uncharted territories. He had long been fascinated by the stories of the Indian subcontinent and its rich cultural heritage, with tales of exotic spices, precious gems, and ancient wisdom that had tantalized his imagination since childhood. As he marched his army through the treacherous mountain passes of modern-day Pakistan, he encountered fierce resistance from the local tribes, who fought with a ferocity that matched the rugged beauty of their homeland. The Battle of Hydaspes, fought against the Indian king Porus, was one of the most brutal and bloody conflicts of Alexander's career, a clash of steel on steel that would leave an indelible mark on his psyche. The memory of that battle would haunt Alexander for years to come, like a ghostly apparition that refused to be exorcised. The cries of the wounded, the scent of blood and sweat, and the sight of fallen warriors would linger in his mind, a grim reminder of the human cost of his ambition. And yet, despite the challenges he faced in India, Alexander continued to push forward, driven by his insatiable curiosity and thirst for adventure, like a ship sailing into the unknown, its sails billowing with an unyielding wind. As he traveled through the ancient world, Alexander spread Greek language, culture, and philosophy, leaving behind a lasting legacy that would shape the course of human history. He founded over 70 cities during his campaigns, including Alexandria in Egypt, which would become a major center of culture and learning, a beacon of knowledge that would attract scholars and philosophers from far and wide. The city's great library, with its vast repository of scrolls and manuscripts, would become a symbol of Alexander's enduring commitment to the pursuit of wisdom. As Alexander's life drew to a close, he became increasingly preoccupied with the question of his own mortality, like a man standing at the edge of a great precipice, staring into the abyss. In 33 BCE, Alexander fell ill in Babylon, possibly due to a fever or poisoning, his body weakened by the relentless pace of his campaigns and the countless battles he had fought. As his condition worsened, his companions and soldiers gathered around him, mourning the loss of their beloved leader, like a chorus of mournful voices echoing through the chambers of his palace. According to the ancient historian Arrian, as Alexander lay on his deathbed, he was asked to whom he would leave his empire. His response was characteristic of the man, "To the strongest." These words reflect the complexities of Alexander's personality, a mix of bravado, cunning, and vulnerability, like a rich tapestry woven from threads of gold, silver, and bronze. Alexander's legacy is impossible to overstate, like a mighty mountain range that stretches across the horizon, its peaks touching the sky. He spread Greek culture, language, and philosophy throughout the ancient world, shaping the course of Western civilization, like a master craftsman shaping a work of art from raw marble. The cities he founded, the roads he built, and the institutions he established continue to influence our modern world, like a subtle yet pervasive perfume that wafts through the corridors of time. Today, Alexander is remembered as one of the greatest leaders in human history, a man whose vision, courage, and intellect continue to inspire us, like a shining star that guides us through the darkness. His life serves as a reminder that even the most remarkable individuals are shaped by their circumstances, and that true greatness is often the result of a complex interplay between character, opportunity, and circumstance, like a rich stew brewed from a diverse array of ingredients. In the end, Alexander's story is a powerful reminder that our lives are but a brief, shimmering moment in the grand tapestry of time, like a fleeting sunbeam that dances across the floor. And yet, it is in this moment that we find our greatest opportunity to leave our mark upon the world, to shape the course of history, and to create a legacy that will outlast us, like a mighty monument that stands tall against the winds of time. That's all for today's biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.